Welcome back, everyone. Still here for the Fall Clash for the Midwest Esports Conference. We took an extended break, but now we are ready to go for one more match. Cornell versus Cleveland. We just saw Cornell take on Southwest Baptist, make pretty quick work of them, 13-2. And now we got one more up next. Cornell, 2 matches in a row.
All right, and from Cornell, as we've seen previously, we've got kbull, Phet, the opping, the opping Jesus. We have Banthanor, who played Brim, played a very, very solid and aggressive Brim too, and we got CRNL Lamp. And then from what was it? Cleveland, right? It was, we've got Fode, Revi, Marvel, Lime, and Sully. If I remember correctly, Sully was playing Omen the last time and made some pretty crazy plays, as well as Lime and Fode playing on KJ was absolutely diabolical. I'm kind of excited to see how these matches turn out, and I hope that Cleveland gets a chance to rise up from their previous loss. Or we might have Cornell take 2 games just right there in front of us.
Yeah, Cleveland had a pretty hard-fought battle a little bit earlier on in the Ohio Civil War, if you will. I believe it was against Miami University of Ohio. Right. But this time, got Cornell College just coming off of a very heated win against Southwest Baptist, so they have a lot of momentum on their side. So I gotta say, that probably helps them out a little bit, but Cleveland, they had some time to cool off after that last loss, and they are ready to go and try to get on the board, try to advance to 1-1, which we do have the map pick in.
Right.
We're going to go to Bind, Green.
Which I am very, very excited for, as I am a avid enjoyer of Bind. What we're probably going to be looking at here is what I would like to say is a Viper Briv comp. That is what I have been seeing has been dominating the field. I would not be surprised if we got a Harbor, though, because Harbor has also made his name on Bind as far as the controller meta goes, which is something I focused on way too much.
Yeah. Got a map we have not seen yet. We've seen a couple maps a couple times. I believe we saw Ascent twice, but now we get to see a map we have not seen before. Bind. I have a very love-hate relationship with it. I love watching it. I love casting it, but playing on it, it's something that gets me going like no other.
It's a song and a dance.
To play on it.
It is.
Yeah, it really is. But thankfully today, I don't have to play it.
Yeah, no. I would love to be. I'd love to play Bind, but I am not nearly as good as the players that we are going to be witnessing on screen. So I will gladly sit in my comfortable chair and watch the fire and flames work.
Yeah, that is the best way to put it. Now, Green, I do have a question for you. We've seen both of these teams come out and play a little bit earlier on. What are some predictions that we have? We've seen how they play. We're on a different map, though. So let's get a prediction. What are we thinking?
So what I'm thinking is we're definitely going to be looking at, as I had already stated, we're looking at a Viper Brim comp. That's been what has been dominating most of Bind. That, and then we might get a Harbor too. But as far as it goes, Jett is not the optimal pick for Bind. That would be Raze as a duelist, or Yoru. Those are 2 of the better picks on this map. So as far as Phet and opping on Jett, we might see it, but odds are we're probably going to see a Raze take play here.
For sure.
Especially with, the double updraft being nerfed for Jett. There's a lot of there's a lot of areas that you want to be on top of and play levels with, and losing that updraft kind of takes a little bit of playability away from her.
Yeah, especially on a map like Bind. It's quite vertical for being such a flat map.
Yeah.
Raze just provides a level of verticality that Jett can't provide anymore. If this was like Valorant a year ago, excuse me, I had a sneeze. If this was Valorant like a year ago, Jett would absolutely be a viable pick. But right now, I just feel like Raze is really the only pick that you can play on Bind. There's some teams that can get away with playing Yoru. Yoru is definitely not necessarily a bad pick, but Raze has so much potential on it. I just think she's infinitely better. The tried and true pick. I mean, Raze has been in the meta on Bind for years and years now, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon.
No, it's. I mean, if you walk onto the playground and you see the big kids, you know, you're like Jet walking in with a little lollipop, and you got your little spinny hat, and you look over and you see Raze and Yoru standing there on the play set. You know, you're not gonna mess with them. You're gonna turn right back around. You're gonna go home.
Yeah, you're just gonna want to go home. I got a feeling I'm gonna make a prediction here. I think I'm gonna predict Cornell. I think Cornell is really fired up after that game against Southwest Baptist, the last match. I mean, they're still hot from it. There is the possibility that they might overheat, but they played like they were very controlled. They knew what they were doing the entire time. So that's my pick.
I don't know, but confidence can also be a team's undoing. So
that is true.
We'll have to see how they play, and it looks like we're going to be getting to see Brimstone again.
We do like Brimstone. Like you said, the iPad kid.
Yep, iPad kid.
Glued into the screen, and they are all locked in. Cornell, they knew exactly who they were playing before they even loaded in. We have a chamber, ladies and gents, first time today. And like you were pointing out, confidence can absolutely unravel a team's well-being. And when it passes that point of confidence to cockiness, it can do very bad things.
Yeah, well, you know, and one pick that I actually am kind of surprised to see is Chamber here. I mean, not that he's necessarily a bad pick anymore. I just think that the intel you get off of Cypher cams, or, you know, I was going to say KJ, but I honestly think I prefer Cypher as a Sentinel on Bind. I think he has a lot to offer and a lot to bring to the table. But we're going to be seeing no Cyphers, no KJs. We're going to be seeing double chain. Actually, their comp is almost identical, minus having a Brimstone and an Omen. And I think what we're going to end up watching here is battle of the lineups. And I think Viper and Brim are going to be definitely annoying to deal with as far as retaking goes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's another double controller composition for both of these teams. I am all for it. We're going to see a lot of smoke. The Viper, of course, one of the tried and true agents on the Bind map. Brimstone, very solid. Omen, very solid. Honestly, all of the controllers are really solid on Bind. There isn't really a wrong answer.
No.
There's really just a more right answer. Like, you can absolutely make a competent competition with Viper, Omen, Brim, Astra, Harbor. Like, all of them make sense.
Yeah, you know, I think Bind is one of the few maps in the competitive pool that you could actually run any controller on and do just as well. Looks like the match has already started as well. We have a typical Viper default wall that leads all the way to shower, perfectly placed. Revy getting one pick, and then Omen taking the next. The trade does come in, with Raze taking him down. It looks like they're playing a little bit of a default, as things stand.
Marvel runs in, catches Phet, and has a sight under a vice grip. Just got to run that spike over there and get that bad boy down.
It was a beautiful default.
4 versus 2. Planted. It really was.
Teleport's ready.
They had all the map positioning they needed. But it looks like it's not quite over yet. Frags are coming through. But Viper and Sky, Marvel and Phet managed to take out the last remaining two enemies, which are now bringing this to Cleveland State, marking themselves as the first ones to score a point.
This round goes that way pretty easily. Just the default is way too solid.
It was clean.
No way they were going to break that one up. It really was.
Well,
cleanness of it.
When you
add
was so Chamber, nice. You know, when you add Chamber to the mix, there's not a lot you can really hold. And I think especially if you're playing against a Chamber, you want to play default the majority of the rounds. So you're gonna have some kind of map control. And Revy's making use of this Sheriff as he's holding the corner. It looks like they got two people holding and waiting for them, but I think that they're actually just making noise. I think they're going to be taking the bomb and going elsewhere. Maybe connecting to B if Raze gets something. So they gave her hookah. She's definitely in.
You have Sky, of course, running it up with the dog, clearing out elbow. kbull, their position is known. 60 seconds to go. Cleveland State has
Cleveland's definitely gearing
a
up for A.
very, very aggressive position pushed up on both sides, and I believe they're going to try to use that teleporter, go through, and make their way onto the B side. Both of these sides are pretty evenly protected. But as the dusk settles, they're deciding to abandon the B site, go back over to A, push up, get some frags, and make Cornell Esports push back.
And that was a little bit of a toss-up from Brim there. It looked like he had the jump on both players that were lurking through that smoke there. And now it is up to kbull to do a little bit of damage. Does manage to take one player, but cannot quite grab another, as the rest of the four players are all at 4 health and walking into this next round extremely healthy.
2-0 bonus round is about to get started. Cornell has an Odin, Banthanor, on the Brimstone. Decided to go with an Odin, trying to reverse some of this pressure and maybe push Cleveland State off of the aggressive position. So far, they've been defaulting and it's been working really well. They've just been moving in robotically.
He's not doing this, is he?
Wait,
Flashing,
yes,
he's running
yes,
in
he
with
is.
the Odin, taking down Chamber, putting... Oh no! What a play! What a play with the Odin, man! I was wondering what he was planning on doing with that. You know, typically you see an Odin, you know the person's going to be playing U-Haul, spamming through that wall, but it looks like they're using it to also deny plant. Util coming out at a bad time, but the trade coming through. Phet taking down 2 and Len finishing it off with him, taking down the last 3 remaining players and winning the bonus round with favor for Cornell Esports there.
4 men left alive there as well for Cornell Esports. Thanks duly in part to the big boy Odin from Banthanor. Only able to get 1 kill, but it definitely rattled the push just a little bit because nobody expects the Brimstone to peek into a flash with an Odin and spray. Gutsy call, but it works out. And Cornell Esports has got the first round on their board.
Right, and it looks like from what they're doing here, it seems to be the same song and dance every single round. They try to take a little bit of shower control and they lurk up B. But this time, I think Cornell is kind of figuring out, oh, never mind, they haven't figured out anything. Solely has managed to take on 2 players, including Phet and Sky, 2 of the players that we've seen pop off a majority of the time. This is putting Cleveland in a very, very good position.
Teleport's ready.
Gonna rotate over to the shorter part of the A site. Odin still being aggressive and generally being a nuisance for the push of Cleveland State. And now Banthanor gets 1 kill, going to rotate around. State just kind of bundled up onto the A short. 45 seconds to go, and Cornell Esports knows exactly where they are. They do have the opportunity to go through the teleporter if they want to. B site is just stronger. So Cleveland going to push onto the A site and try their hand at this one. Bode going to get the spike down.
Brimmy with a stimmy. Brimmy with a stimmy.
Brimmy
with an Odin.
Brimmy with the Odin.
No spams. No spams.
Oh!
Oh, waited a little bit too long. Lost his head. And it looks like Cornell is going to be walking into this a 2v3.
Last player standing.
Lamp is fighting Lamps, trying to get a pick. Unfortunately, does not quite make one. He does take out Sky. He's going to be dropping his orb, but they're both playing here, and he's not expecting Lime to be crouching in the corner, waiting for his precious head to come around.
The bonus round went the way of Cornell Esports, but nothing after that. Brings Cornell back to equilibrium. They're kind of floating on the edge. They don't quite have enough to full buy, and Banthanor just decides to go with an Odin and Light Shields because Valorant Economy 101.
You know, going into this match, expected Cornell to be playing a little bit more aggressive and a bit more with confidence, but it almost seems like it's a little bit of the opposite. I mean, they're fighting Shower very confidently. That's been like one of the bigger parts of the map that they've been taking control on, with Chamber getting a pick on Sky to start us off with Cornell. But I think that they're playing a little bit, it seems like they're playing scared on these retakes.
Glass cannon cable is what they call them. Very nice shot from Banthanor. The Odin still, Brimmy Odin meta comes out yet again. B-site retake is needed here for Cornell. However, they do have a two-man advantage, so this should be a little bit easier than what they might be expecting.
Oh,
Sully swings around, gets one kill. Sully has yet another one, catches the elbow player off guard. Makes it a 3 versus 2. And now comes the orbital strike, and that will all but seal the deal. Cornell Esports takes round 5, and now they cut the lead to 1.
This Brim pick is showing to be quite the, what's going on here?
My ult is ready. No fireworks today, I'm
Did we
afraid.
almost have an oopsie daisy?
I was really hoping that wasn't going to happen, but Cornell did manage to come back and defuse the spike. A little bit of complication, the wall was a little interesting, but they did manage to come back around. But as I was stating earlier, you know, this Brim pick right now is really showing to be a problem for Cleveland State.
It really is. I mean, not only because of the Odin spam, but just the smokes and the stims and the incendiaries are really causing problems. I mean, the orbital strike, yeah, literally. The orbital strike ultimate was what sealed that round up. If that ult did not come out, Cleveland State absolutely could have won that one out. It was a 2 versus 3. The spike was nearing halfway done. If there was no ult there, that could have been Cleveland's round to win and run away with. They had the positional advantage. Only reason they did not win that round was because the orbital strike, like you said, the Brimstone pick is really causing Cleveland State some problems. They're being the thorn in their side right now.
But that right now is exactly what Cornell needs to get themselves back into the game, as they are currently down 2-3. But I think we're going to be seeing a little bit of a change in pace here, as they're starting to kind of settle in and situate themselves. Although Cornell does not have a lot of money going into this round, but that's kind of a statement for both teams as it stands. And I think that Odin's going to be definitely tearing apart light armor.
Got a feeling.
And
Tour de Force going to come out. Tour de Force going to come out for Cornell Esports, and there goes Phet with the op, like you said. Revy taken down. And op versus op. Looks like Cornell's op is just a little bit better. Here we got Cable holding the angle, and the Rays wisely decides to fall back. Try their hand at it. They want to peek, but they know they shouldn't.
Oh, this is so toxic. I just realized they have 2 ops right now. Oh, and one of the ops getting taken down by a stinger by Lime. The flick from Phet. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was totally an ear breaker, but what a flick, especially into a headshot with the op there.
Lamp, close range shot. Lime, he's got to play this really well. All eyes are on the garden, and with Lime in a very uncomfortable position, this might be the end of Cleveland State's round. They're going to have to find some heroic play. Pop the util all at once and get on the road. But Len 4's not going to let it happen. Cleveland State going to rotate all the way around, but the op is still there. The shot misses, but the paint shell will delay just long enough. And if everything goes according to plan, this will be the end of the round. And there it goes. Green, you called it. Light armor shredded out by the Odin.
Man, I mean, there's not a lot you really can do there in where they were on B. Once the smokes came back down, I think there's only like, what, less than 30 seconds left in the round. at that point, once their teammate got spammed to the smoke and they were even more at odds with it, with just 2 people left alive, you can't just run out into B site. You have to take the TP, even though you know Phet's just going to be sitting there at the op waiting the entire round. It was perfectly executed by Cornell. They played it really well there with their positioning.
Halfway through the first half, and so many ults getting popped out by the attacking
Ooh!
side. Double kill for the showstopper, and now out comes the Vipers pit. A site is completely up to the discretion of Cleveland State. Phet getting caught in a corner. Ay, ay, ay.
Showstopper along with a Viper ult. We might witness greatness.
Clock's ticking. Phet gets spotted out. They know
and
exactly where they are. Swings around. Lamp gets a double or a triple kill. Make that. Cornell is left in the dark.
Lamp is going to be running away with the Odin. Chamber didn't even come to the party. He's on his own schedule right now on the B site. Chamber, what does he have? Does he have an op?
Looks like it.
Yeah, no, he's got an actual op, so of course he's gonna want to save that.
Last player standing.
Smart choice. Lamp goes down. The Odin falls. But thankfully, the op is still in safe hands. Oh, maybe not. No, it's not. Lime gets the kill and strips away another $5,000. And just like that, Cornell is completely broke.
Oh, well, kbull can afford another op. He can. And they can afford to buy into this, but
there's no more security.
No.
They can afford this round, but they are broke. They only have their possessions, but Cleveland State's about to repo them.
They are going to definitely need to be making use of their ults this round to make sure they secure themselves this. This round is extremely important for them economically wise.
Cornell has
both
got
teams
to
are
play
playing so
this
safe.
round perfectly. Cleveland State going to try the default. The default has worked very well so far, so they're going to try it one more time. Phet just somehow immune to the paranoia. Interesting.
I love watching Phet play. He's so entertaining. It's almost never a dull moment when you're watching him. He's either being super aggressive on somewhere, he's jiggle peeking something. When it looks like Viper's going to be sneaking up through the smoke there on the other side of the wall. The flash comes in, doesn't really catch anything because it doesn't pop. Not that it would have caught anyone anyway. I think Viper's waiting for Brimstone to peek this, and Brim is playing so carefully that she just manages to give up her position. And it's just it's a stalemate right now. It's a stalemate, but the one thing that Cornell has going for them is they don't have to worry about the time. Cleveland does. With 30 seconds on the clock remaining, they're going to have to make a play, and they're going to have to make a play soon.
TikTok, CSU starting to get gathered up. Utilities starting to pop out. There it comes. Banthanor gets shot down. They've got to get this spike on the site quickly. Line popping up. It's a kill from Phet. And out come the Seekers. Fode gets shot down, and that will be the round. CSU, old habits die hard.
Did you see that sky spray through that smoke onto the site?
I did
there?
see that. That was fantastic. CSU, they had everything going for them. They got the first frag. But like I said, old habits die hard. They wait too long, and they end up losing the round off of the clock. They didn't lose to Cornell Esports. They lost to the clock.
They did. Well, and I think and inadvertently, you know, from the way that Cornell has been positioning themselves and playing, it's hard for Cleveland to even really get, like, you know, a piece of this cake right now. They've been trying to, like, get up and take space, but it's just Cornell is just not letting them. I mean, they've been terrified of Shower. They stopped fighting Shower altogether, and that's why. That's why right there. That's a scary player to go up against. He really is, especially when he has an op.
Feels like Shower might just be their playground. Banthanor,
Taken down.
look at the Bucky, close range shot, easy money for that frag. And they're going to trade it out for a Vandal. Look at this, shiny on the ground.
Looks like
That
Lime's
Lime.
going to be making his way up into elbow. The bomb is going to go down, and Cleveland State is going to have to manage to get a couple picks and work with it. And no, Lime doesn't know. Now he does, and Viper does manage to get the shot in with a crouch peek, and now it is up to Lend and Viper to make this work. The dog comes in, but he's not useful. Ooh, his shot coming in, but Phet getting the trade. Now it is up to Phet. Phet does not deliver, and the round goes back to Cornell Esports.
Cornell's got one more. They're going to take the lead. Trying to get this defuse. It really is. Cleveland State. Seems like the B site is where Cornell Esports absolutely excels. So Cleveland State might have to keep that in mind for these next couple of rounds. I mean, Cleveland State, looking at the economy, they're in a similar spot that Cornell was in. They are broke. All they have is their possessions. They have enough to almost full buy up this round. The weakest link is Phet with a Spectre and Light. I mean, it's still a competent loadout. You can definitely do some damage with the Spectre, even at medium range, but it's not as good as you want. You would definitely prefer a Spectre, a Vandal, or a Phantom, but you got to work with what you have. If Cleveland State don't win this round, though, this could spell disaster for CSU.
See, and I think Cornell knows that the retake is good on B, and they know that they're playing well there, which is why they're contesting Shower so hard. Is because if they contest Shower, then the only potential place that Cleveland can really get through is A main. And at that point, it's almost, I mean, going into the A site after that is really difficult, especially when you don't have shower control. It's like when you leave the bathroom without washing your hands, it's just not right.
1 minute to go, and Cleveland State pushing on to the B side. Looks like we might just see another B retake for Cornell Esports. The beautiful retakes have been so nice. This time looks to be a little bit harder. It's a 4 versus 2 this time around. Marvel is quite low, so that could be a weak point that Cornell can exploit. Phet is stuck in a very unfortunate position. Still a headshot through the smoke. Lamp swings out.
No
and
way.
Phet with the showstopper gets one, make it 3 kills. And Cornell retakes yet again. The B site continues to be their playground.
They are the B site warriors. These
they
guys
really
don't
are.
lose their retakes on B, man. Now that I think about it, has Cleveland won a single round on B, or have they all been on A?
I think they've all been on B, honestly, or on A, honestly, because the B site Cornell is just a completely different monster. It's absolutely unreal. If I were Cleveland, I would just say, all right, guys. I mean, they're taking a timeout, so they probably got some time to talk about it.
They're definitely going to talk about
Rule
it.
Rule B out of the equation. Cornell has obviously been playing the B site retakes. They've been practicing those. In Cleveland State, they've had quite a bit of success on the A site, but you can't just keep funneling everything through A site. Eventually, Cornell's going to figure that out.
Well, but the biggest issue with Cornell or getting through Cornell is on A site, they have to deal with Phet. And Phet, as we've seen, has just been hitting shots. He's honestly just an excellent player all around. And he's been holding down Shower every single round. And as I stated earlier, without shower control, taking A can prove to be kind of difficult. So, I mean, it's really hard for Cleveland to not want to go B at that rate, you know? You think that, well, if we can at least get the site and get the bomb down, maybe if we position ourselves right, we can win it. But I just don't think they figured out the correct positioning yet, because they've not been able to hold down B. Cornell just has insane retakes on that site.
They really do. It's been unreal. It shouldn't be a night and day difference, but it just is. Cornell, of course, the retake on A is not bad at all, but B's site is just continuously being a problem here for Cleveland State. And it's just before the retake. Oh, both of the op shots miss. That is unreal. Cleveland State now deciding to go over to the A site.
Oh,
Probably smart to do so. They've got the side, but Lamp just swinging out of the Viper's Pit. Gets one frag. There goes Lime. Out comes a big boy orbital strike. And there it comes again. Banthanor gets the Odin.
Teleport's ready.
Now they have a 5 versus 3. And guess where they're going?
they're
Onto
going to
the
be.
B site. And in comes Cornell Esports. But look at this. Revy on the flank.
See, this might actually be huge here. Because if they don't know Revy's here, they have no reason to turn around. I think he holds it. Ooh, I think you hold your shot there. 100% you hold your shot. And you sit and you wait and you play the PK. Well, I guess with the wall, that doesn't really help too much. And then he gets spammed through the smoke. But I think that with the enemy team, with both of them playing long there, you kind of want to hold your trigger and start walking up and try to get a little bit more information, especially when they're not looking at you like that.
Jeez, that's unreal. 7-4 is the score. We go into round number 12. Cornell Esports has had their way the last 4 rounds. Cleveland State's going to have to get some momentum going their way if they want a chance to win this out on the other side. To be fair, we haven't talked about it too much. Bind has been historically a defender-sided map.
Right.
So Cornell does have
Cleveland's
the
not in a bad
advantage
spot.
there. But Cleveland is in a very bad spot, even though the map is defender-sided. Cornell is absolutely steamrolling, and Banthanor just keeps the Odin burning.
See, I think I have to disagree. You want to at least get 4 rounds on attacker's side when it comes to bind. And I mean, most bind games end up going into overtime just because of how defender-sided the map can be. But having 4 rounds and walking into the next half of 4 rounds is definitely not a bad thing. You can make a lot of work with that. If they get any more rounds, it would be amazing for them. Now that they're actually taking the A site, we might be able to see a couple rounds come in here. That almost hit.
It could absolutely be worse. So there is a bit of an upbringing and an upside to this for Cleveland State. It's a very defender-sided map. But man, retakes are just so aggressive. I mean, look at this. I believe that's an SMG that's doing that, or maybe that's just a Phantom that decided to run and gun. Yeah, that's
he's just
that's just
W
a
with
Phantom run and gun. Marble caught off. Lamp gets the frag, makes it a 1 versus 1. And Revy, nice shot. Sends it into halftime. 7-5 is the score. And Cleveland State, despite running into a bunch of trial and error, they bring it to halftime with a very respectable score.
Right. Those kills in Lamp are nasty. I think that the funniest part about it is the player is named Lamp and seems to dominate that portion of the map. But from the looks of it, I mean, only time will tell what's going to be in store for the rest of this match. Ending it out on attacker's side with 5 rounds is good. That's really good. That's a good place to be. I mean, of course you're down a little bit, but from how to play, and especially like defensively, I think that Cleveland is definitely still in a good spot. And they're still well into this game.
This'll round underway, and Cornell gonna try their hand at a default. Shooting through the smoke, getting some damage done onto Lime, but unfortunately it's not enough to kill. And as I say that, Banthanor tries their hand at shooting through the smoke, and they've got it. Headshot with the classic, 5 versus 4 for Cornell.
Well, it looks like what they might be trying to do here is push into the B site, which I don't think would be a bad call. But what they need is their team there. They're still really split up, including both their controllers being on in shower on A site. But I wonder what they're trying to do is make some noise B and then hit the TP and come straight into A. I mean, as far as the timing goes, this might be perfect for Cornell, as both Brim and Chamber are making their way up short. I think they're going to get the short end of the stick here if they continue pushing and barreling through into the site. which seems to be happening as the
30
smokes
seconds
go
left.
down, the TPs are made, and the bomb has made its way to the A site. Now, they don't know how many people are short. Cleveland State
Spike
still
planted.
has a really good chance at taking some easy frags, but it looks like they're not even going to contest it. They're just going back and playing shower. They're keeping it nice, safe, and clean.
Cornell. Safe choice is always the good choice. There are better,
Lineups.
but this time it looks like the safe
Last
choice
player
is
standing.
the safe choice
Lineups.
for a reason. Banthanor, line up Larry, gets one more, and Phet is in a 1 versus 4, nearly impossible to win.
See-
Banthanor shuts that down as soon as it gets started. 8-5.
That's exactly what I was talking about. When you play both Grim and Viper, the game becomes lineups. You get the bomb down and those two are still alive, then you're gonna have to move extremely fast if you want to win that round, because they can stall out the time for that bomb for almost 80% of its life.
Yeah, especially with that Brim Molly, it lasts so long. So long. I think it's like, what, actually like 15, 20 seconds, something like that?
Yeah.
It's
well,
insane.
And then with the Viper Orb on top of it, I mean, that Molly will eat through you in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, it is almost impossible for those to
Whoa!
win. Banthanor, jeezums. One more time.
They
Wait.
don't see Omen! The right click is in!
Oh, wow.
They managed to take Phet out, but I mean, as far as it goes, unless Revy makes some kind of miracle play here and hits some miracle shots, I don't think he's going to be able to bring this round back. He's waiting for him to peek, and kbull hits him with the Vandal headshot, knocking Revy out and getting another round for Cornell Esports.
Definitely didn't expect them to win that whole round out, but I would have definitely liked for the Chamber to get at least one and strip a gun or two off of Cornell, because now they have all the money in the world. They have 5 rifles. They don't quite all have shield, but they have so much money already saved up. Cornell Esports, they are barely worse in this round.
It's almost not even
Barely.
it's not even like a, what is it, a bonus. This is almost like a full round. This
is a full buy round versus a like 7/8 of the way buy round.
Right. I can't do fractions. That's good on you.
Phet scores the first one. Revy gets caught out and shut down, and their round is over. Cornell knocking on the door of double digits, but solely though trying to keep that door shut. Double digits might be a little bit harder than Cornell expected.
Right. Well, and the default that they're playing has been really good. I mean, they really don't get a lot of information off the bat from Cornell. Cornell is kind of, they've been playing very slow. But see, what I like about Cornell, and what I think Cornell does really, really well, is their pacing. Their pacing is next to perfect most rounds.
Gotta be careful with these. Lime with the shot through the wall. Lands it out, and Cornell should not be dropping this many players. That they are. Just 30 seconds to go, and Phet's left in a 1 versus 5.
If there's
Gotta
anyone
get
who
at
can
least
clutch
one.
this round, I think it'd be Phet.
Oh, for sure. Phet definitely has a chance, but the clock is ticking.
I think
Phet
it's safe
might
to save.
honestly just try to save this gun and try to play some long-term economic game.
Right. See,
the
I don't
smart
think he's going to
choice.
save, though. Well, not that I think he's going to go barreling in, but I think he's going to try to go for a couple more picks. This is a player whose confidence is on another level. I mean, as far as it stands, he's been one of the dominating players of today. I can't say that I think any other player has made more of an impact in these games than Phet has, from what I've seen.
I mean, look at the KD. It's 19 and 7. It shows. But also, one thing I like about Phet, they're very cool-headed. Just because they're getting really confident, they know when to make a hardcore play. They know when to slow it down and play really chill right there. They knew that they had a gun in their hand. They knew that there was probably not going to be anybody from CSU that was going to try to push them. So they just keep it going. They keep the gun, and they just chill out. And now, scores 9-6, round number 16 underway. And Cornell has a much better shot to win it. They have a lot of utility and a lot of money left. And only one player has light shields.
I like this play with Viper right now.
Poison's off.
He almost knows that there's somebody out there, and he's just trying to stall him and keep him back. Here comes the dog. The dog goes down, and Raze throwing the nade in. They are going to be taking hookah control without effort.
Toxin screen down.
Crazy what a little bit of utility can do for you. Gonna get smoked off though, slow him down just a little bit. Still a lot of time to go. There's a couple of players over near the garden as well, pushing from B long, providing some sideways pressure as well, forcing Cleveland State into a very awkward position. Marvel is sitting right underneath the drop. So Cleveland State has got to be careful about that. Marvel is in a very vulnerable position, but at the same time, Cornell has to respect it, because if not, then Marvel will absolutely get away with a frag there. Marvel gets smoked off.
No, they're not clearing him.
They're hidden.
They're not clearing him.
I think they might be hidden. The spike's gonna go
Oh
down,
my
and Marvel's gonna
gosh,
get
and
a
he
double,
takes
make it
three.
a triple. You've got to clear the drop. And it's up to not even the retake, just denying the original take. Fine, gets one kill, another one, and Cleveland State will win this round out. They didn't clear the drop.
Honestly, that is an insane play right there. He's definitely rehearsed that spot. I guarantee you what probably ended up happening there is his wall blocked him off. So even if they went to clear it, which I don't even think they looked there on the map in general, but even if they did, let's say they did, I don't think they would have seen him. I think he was hidden behind his wall. He knew exactly what he was doing. He put his wall down the moment they got the bomb down and managed to grasp 3 kills right there. What an outstanding play.
That's not teleports ready.
Pushes Cornell into the land of poor economy.
Right.
They can still buy up quite a bit. They got 3 rifles and then a stinger. Lind has to play with just a classic save the money for next time.
And it looks like we're going to be having a technical pause because there is a bit of a mouse issue going on. And you know what? It's funny that that's happening. I have also been having issues with my mouse lately.
Yeah, tech issues are not fun, but you know, it's all right. We haven't had too many technical issues so far, so I mean,
it's been a really smooth
be glad
day.
for that. It's been smooth. So, I mean, we were bound for one at some point, so might as well be now.
Right. So I guess with insight from how both these teams have played, and I guess you know how they've been doing so far today, do you think that your prediction remains consistent on who you think is going to end up taking the W here?
You know, I'm really not sure. Cornell, they have the lead. Cleveland State has definitely been getting the train back on the tracks. They've got a couple of rounds in a row. Cornell is having a really hard time of staying consistent. They had a big opportunity to win that last round. I mean, they had all the utility in the world. They had everything going for them. And then all of a sudden, there was just someone hiding in the smoke that nobody decided to clear.
Right. I mean,
then,
if they got that round, then they would be soaring through right now and absolutely probably going into the next round with utmost confidence of probably the game at that point. But that round was crucial. And that Viper play easily kept Cleveland in the game. And I think Cleveland's about to make a barreling comeback right now.
They're only down by 2, so the comeback is definitely possible. And if they're able to take this next round as well, it will give the other side the loss bonus. Cornell, they will still have the lead. However, that's going to solidify the momentum, and that is going to just steamroll Cleveland into the driver's seat. And considering how Cornell has always had that one-up on Cleveland State, this would be a big opportunity for CSU to get themselves in the driver's seat, try to get themselves that one-up, and hopefully make it push all the way through to the end of this game.
It looks like Cleveland's going to be taking a very, very aggressive A approach here, working up short. Revy is going to shut down Phet, which is really bad for Cornell, considering that Phet's been their star player, solely taking down 2 players in Shower, completely denying this A push. Both players are stuck in lamps, and as far as it goes, the heat is on.
One enemy remaining.
They are about to cook up in the kitchen, and Revy is not done flipping his saute pan right now, as he's going to try to go for one more. He's waiting for him. and he knows he's in there.
At this point, I can hear the pan sizzling. Land with a 1 versus 5 in front of them. I think they're just locked with fear, not even moving an inch at all.
I mean, what do you do when a tank is waiting outside your house? You're not gonna walk to the front door. All exits are covered. He is literally
30 seconds
quite
left.
literally in house arrest right now.
The ankle bracelet's on. Looks like we have a bit of aggression finally from Revy, making 3 kills on the round, and Cleveland State is only trailing by 1, and a timeout comes out in the just nick of time.
Yeah, it seems that Revy, he did not put down his pan. He continued sizzling, and he put some more sauces in there and a little bit of butter just to bind it all together to make one great clip for himself. Excellent, excellent play. Well played by Revy. Great shots. But now, so let's see, this timeout came from Cornell.
Yeah.
They're struggling. They're really struggling.
It had
And,
to be.
that's what I was saying. This map is very defense-sided. So for Cleveland to walk into this this half right now with 5 rounds, that's huge. That's huge for them, and they're making great use of that.
That it is. Cornell only able to get 2 so far. It was the pistol and then the anti-round right after that, and then the bonus, and after that, Cleveland State was just able to make really quick work of everything that Cornell threw at them. Cornell shooting out everything they got, but Cleveland State dodging like Muhammad Ali and hitting back twice as hard. And now Cornell, all they have is money for submachine guns. And the Stinger, it's a great gun, close range, but you're on attack. There's a lot of long angles, and this has been a fairly long-range game for Bind. I don't think that's going to change.
You want to play? Let's
Well,
play.
and as I stated, Viper and Brim are really good for lineups, but that's only if you can stay alive and get the bomb down.
Right.
That's only happened for 1 round for them, and it's very, very difficult to use the util to the best of its ability if you can't even have the opportunity to do so.
Double kill right there. Sully and Lime teaming up, getting 1 frag, but Lamp, however, still alive with the Stinger, close range, looking to make it sting a little bit more on.
I was about to say A's free right there, but Omen TP'd back using his ult. I don't think he really needed to do so on a save round, but to be safe, that is, that's a fair play to make. But now that he's walking through their spawn, walked all the way through shower, he's going to be flanking up short, and in a matter of time, they're going to know that there's nobody A, and they're going to know exactly where they are. Oop, they knew where Chamber was.
They know exactly where Chamber is, and Revy has no TP to get out of it.
30 seconds left.
Revy might be able to get 1, but they're not going to be able to get any more. This time, they're not even able to get a single player. 20 seconds to go. Cornell, they've got to push on to the site. Sully's going to meet him at shower, and this should be a pretty easy round for Cleveland State to win. They've just got to deny the plant, but Sully misses the shot. They're able to get 2 more, but the plant's still down, and Banthanor is still alive. Sully gets a 3rd, and that will do it for 4 on the round.
Sully just
made
me eat my words. I was just ragging on him for using that Omen TP on a save round there, but it ended up coming in extremely handy as he was the person to clean up the round with a beautiful 3K.
Here.
They were.
Caster curse, man.
Caster curse? Hey, man. You were getting on me about the caster curse earlier.
It's my turn. It's my turn to feel the flame.
You are not immune from the caster curse. Remember this. Everyone, you are not immune.
Listen, I'm just saying, I think it's contagious. It started with you, so.
Hey, we don't gotta do all that. Round number 19 getting underway. Cleveland State now. I believe that's 4 rounds in a row for them. And Cornell has been shut down at every end of the table. Have a chance to push up. The economy of Cleveland State is looking mighty fine. If they play their cards right and they're able to manage their finances, they might just have enough money until the end of the game. A trade 1-for-1. Going to be kbull coming out on top with the last kill, taking down Lime. 4 versus 4. The raise falls for the sky of Cornell. Now, Cornell pushing up the B site, B long specifically. Utilities starting to pop out. They're going to blast pack play inside the site. A fantastic shot from Phet, opening up the B site.
Cornell
Spike
needs
should
this
go
round.
down pretty easily.
This round is extremely crucial for them.
Got to get that spike down soon because the callouts already came out.
Spike planted.
They know exactly what's going on. Cleveland State has about 5 extra seconds that they didn't have.
I mean, it's a bit of a slow rotation still, so timing still seems to pan out. But what doesn't pan out for Cornell is that op that Revy is holding, and solely manages to take the pick in the middle of sight, and now it is down to
Player
2v2.
standing.
With Cornell taking another pick with kbull, bringing this to life for Cornell. I think Phet is just gonna have to save.
Out of feeling, there's no way they
But
can get
Savy
this one
doesn't.
done. They do have a lot of utility and economy,
No!
so they might as well give it a shot.
No!
I don't think there's time.
Oh.
No, there's no time. Phet gonna run away. Can they get to the TP? No, they can't.
Oh, that was still huge.
It stripped
That's a lot of
It
damage.
stripped money away from Cornell though.
It did.
It stripped quite a bit away. It stripped 2,900 each. That's a actually no, I think
Cornell,
it
who
was
does
an Odin
not
actually.
have a lot of money. That
Cornell
was
does
a big play
not
for
have
them.
any money. Banthanor not even able to buy a Vandal and Light. They're gonna have to go with a Spectre and Light.
I've been waiting for Fode's plays because in the Lotus match, you know, he was the dominant fragger. It's a little different seeing him here playing Sky instead of playing KJ.
Your trail.
And it looks like we're going to be pushing an ult in immediately. Chamber waits for all the cabbages to reach him as he TPs out to safety. And the flash comes in, and Cleveland
down
is
A.
taking the A site.
Yeah, they've got it under control. Iron Fist is how they rule. Cornell down by 2 players. It's a 5 versus 3. It's Cleveland State not giving up any room whatsoever. Utilities in their favor. The economy's in their favor. The RNG is in their
Is
favor.
in their
at this
favor.
point. Lime gets 3 kills now. And the time is running thinner and thinner. Raise and Chamber, the last 2 left. Phet now all that can be saved. And it's a flawless round to go to 10-10.
That's not good. That's not good
Not
at
good
all.
at all. Because now, look at
Cornell
the
has no
economy.
money. They've got nothing.
Look at the money. They are
They've got 3 ults, but they've got
bankrupt.
nothing. Oh, it's just like a sad game of Monopoly where your grandparents just continue to punish you over and over because they actually know how to control their economy, you know? Not saying that Cornell doesn't, but it just seems they're playing very unconfidently. I think that's definitely been a given this match. In the previous match, they were running around stomping, you know, raining down their glory, but this time they've had to slow it down, and I don't think I don't think them playing slow is quite their style, and I think it's starting to come back to bite them.
Slow push up for Cornell, trying to stay as quiet as possible. They want to give themselves the best shot at winning this round.
I think Sky just jiggled, said hi, and ran away.
Looks like they might have saw it, yeah, with the jiggle peek. So that completely foils Cornell's plans for that push. They're going to have to either try to rotate around or just try to push through. You only have pistols, so that is a decision for Cornell to make. 50 seconds to go, still pushing up. There's a couple of players over near the A site. One of them goes down, the other one goes down as well. That'll make it a 5 versus 2 with Phet. Vandal getting 1 frag. Gets 1 more. Landing a couple more shots in the air, and Phet will be the last to fall. Cleveland State land another flawless round.
What a headshot. It's like that mosquito that's flying around you, but you actually finally clap it, you know? That's how I feel about
to the
raises.
Missouri summer.
Oh God. I couldn't imagine. A here in Indiana, we don't. Our mosquitoes aren't too bad, but you know, we do got a lot of we got a lot of forest life. So once rain hits,
Make some
it's
chaos.
fight central.
Round number 22 about to get underway. Cleveland State has so much momentum going for them. They're only one round away from match point. It looks like Cornell going to try their hand at another quiet push up B.
Ooh, and the TP comes in, but he fake TP'd it.
That's a good spot.
But I'm not sure if they predicted that. I think that fake TP is actually going to make them play a little bit slower here, and actually gave Omen plenty of time to come around and rotate. Because they're still watching the TP, they still think that someone might be in there.
Viper's pick gonna go down, gonna try to deny the B site. That could do wondrous things for Cleveland State. Also, it's an awkward position. It might help Cornell out just a little bit. The ults now starting to come out. There goes the orbital strike, popping off. Marvel can't land the shots. They finally eventually correct it, but it's too late. They have to rely on the rest of the team. Thankfully, Sully is right there, getting the 2-for-1, leaving them in a 2 versus 1. kbull versus Chamber and Sky with 30 seconds to go. Spike is down on site.
30 seconds
They
left.
can't get to it without conflict.
This is really not good for
Teleport's
Cornell.
ready.
Chamber has to clutch this. But, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of information to go off of, and it looks like Cleveland's just going to sit here and run down the time, which is exactly what you do in a situation like this when the enemy has to plant, and the flash comes in, kbull is blinded, and then he is opt by Revy, who's
Match
simply
point.
just waiting for him to walk into his screen. It looks
That'll be
like we're
match
going to be
point.
seeing Cleveland State made an amazing play on attack with the 5 rounds, and it looks like they really are trying to bring this game back.
They've won
I'm not
7.
rooting for anyone, though. I'm not.
They've won 7 out of their last 8 rounds, and they only need to win 1 more, and they will have the
You
dub.
want to play? Let's
It's
play.
a very weak buy from Cornell because that's all they can afford. Cornell, you might as well use all of your ults. Right
Using
now,
Phet
they've
right
got
there is
1
not
pop, the
good.
tour de force, but it doesn't even matter. The AWP rains down, takes down Raze, and just like that, your duelist is completely done. There goes your
That's
tour
game.
de force.
Enemy remaining.
There
That's
goes
game.
all of your firepower, and there
win.
goes the hopes of the game. 13-10 final score. CSU, take it.
That was a really good game. You know, I've been enjoying watching Cleveland play a lot today. Cleveland and Cornell. Both of these teams are absolute powerhouses, and watching them play each other was definitely a very entertaining match. Honestly, I really think that once Cleveland got those 5 rounds on the attacker's side, that's all it took for them to be able to bring the game back. But Cornell, who once played extremely confidently in the previous match, just could not seem to deliver the same energy in this next one.
Really couldn't. Talk about momentum. This is a team that can control it very well. Cleveland State, like I said, they won 7 out of their last 8 rounds, but that made 8 out of 9, which is an absolutely insane ratio. This
Yeah.
team is so momentum based. Once they get started, it's like a snowball down a hill. It's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually it got way too big for Cornell to handle. They got smushed, put up a very good fight for all the way through, but in the end of the day, Cornell didn't have what it takes, and Cleveland State University wins it by 3, 13-10. Big GGs.
So here at MEC, is this are we doing double elimination? Is that the case here? Because in that case, I don't think any team has been eliminated yet. Cleveland needed that game to not get eliminated if it is double elimination. And we will be finding that out during the break.
All
But
right.
stay tuned. We got plenty more Valorant coming for you in the future. Do not walk too far from your PC.